Have you ever wondered what your children will truly be like when the roles reverse, when you're the one needing help? As we age and life slows down, there comes a time when walking, moving, or even caring for ourselves becomes difficult. In those moments, we often learn three profound truths about our children. These truths can be surprising, sometimes bittersweet, but they hold the key to understanding our family relationships and even ourselves. Stick around until the end of this video, because these insights will not only help you navigate this chapter of life but might also bring you closer to your children in ways you didn't expect. And if nothing else, you'll know you're not alone in what you're feeling. Before we begin, if this sounds like the kind of content you're interested in, make sure to hit that subscribe button for golden aging and turn on notifications so you never miss our tips on living fully at every age. Your support truly helps us reach more people looking to make their golden years healthier and happier. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Truth 1. Some children will rise to the occasion. As we grow older and face the realities of declining mobility, one of the most heartening truths we may discover is that some of our children will rise to the occasion in ways that truly surprise and touch us. They may step up with care, compassion, and a level of commitment that reminds us of the love and values we instilled in them. These moments, though sometimes born out of necessity, can deepen your bond and bring a profound sense of comfort and gratitude. Let me tell you about my friend Margaret. She's in her late 70s and has been dealing with severe arthritis that makes walking a challenge. Margaret has 2 daughters, both busy with their own lives. Her younger daughter, Rachel, is a nurse and naturally took on the role of helping Margaret manage her medical appointments and medications. But what truly surprised Margaret was her older daughter, Emily. Emily had always seemed less involved, living in another city with a demanding job. Margaret assumed Emily wouldn't have the time or energy to be there for her. Yet, when Margaret's condition worsened, Emily began making the drive every weekend to help. She would cook meals, tidy the house, and even sit with Margaret to go through old photo albums, reminiscing about happy times. "I didn't think Emily would be the one to show up like this," Margaret told me. "But she's proven that love runs deep, even when life gets busy." When children rise to the occasion, their actions often reflect love, gratitude, and a deep sense of responsibility. Here's why they may surprise you with their dedication. A desire to give back. Many children see caring for their aging parents as an opportunity to give back for years of love, guidance, and sacrifice. Hidden strengths. Sometimes, a crisis brings out qualities in your children that you didn't realize were there. A quiet, reserved child might become a strong and steady caregiver when the time comes. A deep bond. For some children, caregiving feels like a natural extension of the love they've always felt for you, and they embrace the role wholeheartedly. Children who rise to the occasion often find practical ways to support you. 1. Taking on daily tasks. Whether it's cooking meals, grocery shopping, or cleaning the house, these acts of service make a big difference. 2. Managing your care, coordinating doctor's appointments, handling medications, and advocating for your needs within the healthcare system are common ways they contribute. 3. Providing emotional support. Sometimes, just sitting and listening or sharing a laugh is enough to make you feel cared for and valued. 4. Making time. Despite busy schedules, they carve out time to be with you, showing that you remain a priority in their lives. When your children rise to the occasion, it's not just about the tasks they perform. It's about the love and care they show through their actions. These moments can bring unexpected emotions, from joy and gratitude to guilt. It's common to feel guilty for needing help or worrying that you're burdening your children. Remember, their actions are often rooted in love and a desire to support you, not out of obligation. For Margaret, watching Emily step into this caregiving role was bittersweet. "I felt guilty at first," she admitted. "But Emily told me, 'Mom, I want to do this. You took care of me when I needed it, and now it's my turn.' Hearing that melted away my guilt." While some children naturally rise to the occasion, there are ways to encourage and nurture their involvement. 1. Communicate openly. Let them know how much their help means to you and share specific ways they can assist. 2. Show gratitude. A simple, thank you, or acknowledgement of their efforts can go a long way in strengthening their commitment. 3. Set realistic expectations. Understand that your children may have other responsibilities and limitations. Appreciate what they can offer, even if it's not everything you need. 4. Create opportunities for connection. Involve them in activities that strengthen your bond, such as cooking together, sharing stories, or working on small projects. Sometimes, the children who rise to the occasion are not the ones you expect. A child who seemed distant or disengaged might become your strongest ally, while a more involved child might struggle. These shifts can be surprising but also deeply rewarding, as they reveal new layers of your relationship. For example, a friend of mine, Arthur, always thought his youngest son, Ben, would be the one to care for him since they were closest. Instead, it was his middle child, Sarah, who stepped up. "She always seemed so busy," Arthur said, "but when I needed her most, she was there. It's shown me a side of Sarah I never fully appreciated before." It's natural to notice differences in how your children respond, and it can be tempting to compare their efforts. Instead of focusing on what one child isn't doing, celebrate the ways others are stepping up. Each child has their own strengths and limitations, and their ability to contribute may vary based on their circumstances. Discovering that some children will rise to the occasion is one of the most heartwarming truths you may experience as you grow older. Their dedication and care reflect the love and values you've shared over the years, and their actions serve as a reminder of the unbreakable bond between parent and child. Cherish these moments and the children who show their love through their actions. They are gifts that bring comfort, joy, and a renewed sense of connection. And remember, their support isn't just about helping you. It's about honoring the relationship you've built together. Truth 2. Some children will struggle to cope. As you grow older and require more assistance, one of the truths you may come to realize is that not all of your children will cope well with the changes. This can be a challenging and emotional discovery, especially if you expected more from certain children. However, their struggles often stem from personal limitations, emotional barriers, or even a lack of understanding about how to help. Recognizing this truth with empathy can help you manage your expectations and navigate these relationships with compassion. It's important to remember that struggling to cope doesn't mean a child doesn't care. There are many reasons why some children find it difficult to step into a caregiving role. 1. Emotional overwhelm. For some children, seeing a parent become vulnerable is deeply unsettling. They may not know how to process their feelings of sadness, fear, or guilt, and this emotional overwhelm can lead them to withdraw or avoid the situation altogether. 2. Time constraints. Many adult children are balancing careers, families, and their own health. The added responsibility of caring for a parent can feel like too much to handle, even if they want to help. 3. Distance and logistics. Children who live far away may struggle with feelings of helplessness because they can't be physically present. They may avoid phone calls or visits out of frustration or guilt. 4. Lack of confidence. Some children simply don't know how to provide care. They might worry about doing the wrong thing or feel unequipped to handle your needs. 5. Unresolved past conflicts. Old tensions or unresolved issues can resurface when family dynamics shift, making it harder for some children to step into a supportive role. George, a retired mechanic, experienced this with his middle son, Paul. When George began using a wheelchair after a stroke, Paul stopped visiting as frequently. George initially felt hurt and angry, interpreting Paul's absence as indifference. One day, George decided to have an honest conversation with Paul. To his surprise, Paul admitted, "Dad, I don't know how to deal with this. Seeing you like this makes me feel helpless, and I don't know what to say or do." This moment of vulnerability opened the door for deeper understanding. George reassured Paul that his presence, even without answers or solutions, was enough. Over time, Paul began visiting more often, not as a perfect caregiver, but as a loving son. If one of your children is finding it hard to cope, here are some steps you can take to improve communication and strengthen your relationship. 1. Start an open conversation. Sometimes, your child may not even realize how their behavior is affecting you. Approach the conversation with curiosity rather than blame. For example, say, "I've noticed you've been distant lately. Are you feeling okay about everything that's happening?" 2. Acknowledge their feelings. Let them know it's okay to feel overwhelmed or unsure. Acknowledge their struggles and remind them that you appreciate any effort they make, no matter how small. 3. Offer specific ways they can help. Many children struggle because they don't know how to help. Instead of leaving them to figure it out, suggest specific tasks they can take on, such as organizing your medications, helping with paperwork, or simply calling regularly to check in. 4. Reassure them that perfection isn't required. Some children hesitate to help because they fear they'll make mistakes. Let them know that their love and presence mean more than getting everything exactly right. 5. Set realistic expectations. Recognize that not every child will contribute equally. Focus on the ways they can support you within their abilities rather than comparing them to other siblings. It's natural to feel hurt or disappointed if a child struggles to cope, especially if you've always been there for them. However, holding on to these feelings can strain your relationship and create unnecessary stress. Here are some ways to manage your emotions. 1. Practice empathy. Try to see the situation from their perspective. What might they be feeling or experiencing that's making this difficult for them? 2. Focus on what they can offer. Even small gestures, like a phone call or occasional visit, are expressions of love. Celebrate their contributions rather than dwelling on what's missing. 3. Seek support elsewhere. If one child isn't able to provide the support you need, consider other options, such as leaning on other family members, friends, or professional caregivers. 4. Let go of resentment. Holding on to anger or disappointment will only weigh you down. Instead, focus on nurturing the relationship in ways that feel authentic and achievable. In many cases, a child who initially struggles may grow into their role over time. They may need space to process their emotions or find their own way of showing support. For example, George's son Paul didn't become the primary caregiver, but his visits became more frequent and meaningful. He started bringing George's favorite coffee on weekends, and they would sit and talk about old times. These small acts of love meant the world to George. This truth can be a difficult one to accept, but it also offers valuable lessons. Every child is unique. Each of your children will respond to your needs in their own way, based on their personality, circumstances, and emotional capacity. Relationships evolve. Struggles often create opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. It's okay to ask for help. Recognizing your children's limitations can help you seek additional support without resentment or disappointment. Realizing that some of your children will struggle to cope is a challenging truth, but it's also an opportunity for growth and compassion. By approaching the situation with empathy, open communication, and realistic expectations, you can nurture these relationships and find new ways to connect. Remember, even if their support doesn't look the way you imagined, their love for you is still there. Sometimes, they just need time and guidance to show it. If you've experienced something similar or found this relatable, comment too to let me know you're still with me. Truth 3. You'll discover who they are at their core. As you grow older and find yourself relying more on your children for support, you'll come to see them in a way you never had before. The challenges and changes that come with aging often reveal who your children truly are at their core, their strengths, vulnerabilities, and unique ways of showing love. This realization can be both heartwarming and surprising, deepening your understanding of them as individuals and reshaping your relationship. Throughout their lives, you've known your children in different roles, as your little ones, as growing individuals, and as adults finding their way in the world. But when the dynamics shift, and they begin caring for you in ways large or small, their true character often shines through. This process of discovery might reveal things you didn't fully notice before, such as unspoken strengths. A child who seemed reserved or unsure might step up with resilience and quiet determination. New layers of compassion. You might see a softer, more empathetic side to a child who was once focused on their independence or career. Unusual ways of helping. Each child has their unique way of expressing love, some through practical support, others through emotional presence, humor, or creativity. Mary, a retired nurse in her late 70s, discovered this truth when she started needing help with her day-to-day life after a hip surgery. Her two sons, Peter and David, took very different approaches to supporting her. Peter, the eldest, immediately took on the role of organizer. He arranged for in-home care, managed her bills, and ensured that her medical appointments were scheduled. David, the younger son, wasn't as hands-on with the logistics but visited frequently, bringing meals, playing her favorite board games, and making her laugh with his stories. Mary initially felt frustrated that David wasn't as practical as Peter, but over time, she realized that both were showing their love in their own ways. Peter's the planner, David's the comforter, Mary reflected. They're different, but both are giving me what I need. Discovering who your children are at their core can change the way you see them and the way you relate to them. It helps you appreciate their individuality. Recognizing their unique contributions fosters a deeper sense of gratitude for what they bring to your life. Deepen emotional bonds. This stage of life often opens the door to more meaningful conversations and shared experiences. Release unrealistic expectations. When you see your children for who they truly are, you can let go of comparisons or judgments about how they should help. This process often brings unexpected surprises. For instance, a quiet child becomes a pillar of strength. A child who was once reserved may take on responsibilities with remarkable determination. The fun-loving child brings joy and lightness. A child with a sense of humor might not manage caregiving tasks but can uplift your spirits in challenging moments. The distant child finds a new connection. A child who seemed disengaged might begin to reach out in unexpected ways, offering emotional or even financial support. While this truth can be heartwarming, it can also be difficult at times. You may discover emotional barriers. A child may struggle to express their feelings, leaving you unsure of their intentions or commitment. Unequal contributions. Some children may take on more responsibilities than others, leading to potential frustrations or misunderstandings. Unresolved tensions. Old conflicts or personality clashes might resurface, requiring patience and open communication to navigate. Understanding and appreciating who your children are at their core requires openness and empathy. Here's how you can embrace this truth. 1. Celebrate their strengths. Focus on what each child brings to the table rather than comparing their efforts. 2. Communicate honestly. Share your feelings and needs while also encouraging them to express their thoughts and concerns. 3. Show gratitude. Acknowledge their efforts, no matter how big or small. Let them know their love and support are noticed and appreciated. 4. Be flexible. Recognize that their ways of helping may not align with your expectations but can still be valuable and meaningful. Helen, a retired schoolteacher, had always relied on her daughter, Sarah, for practical support. Her son, Tom, lived far away and wasn't as involved. When Helen's mobility declined, Sarah continued her caregiving duties, but Helen noticed something surprising. Tom started calling her every evening to share stories, ask about her day, and make sure she didn't feel lonely. I always thought Tom was too busy with his own life, Helen said. But these calls have shown me his heart. He may not be here in person, but he's here in spirit, and that means the world to me. Here are some lessons to learn from this truth. 1. There's no one right way to show love. Each child expresses care in their own way, and understanding this can help you see their efforts more clearly. 2. Your relationship can evolve. This stage of life offers an opportunity to connect with your children in new and deeper ways. 3. Embrace their humanity. Your children are individuals with their own strengths and limitations. Accepting them for who they are fosters mutual respect and love. Realizing who your children are at their core is one of the most profound truths of aging. It's a chance to appreciate their unique qualities, deepen your connection, and celebrate the love they show in their own ways. While this discovery may bring surprises and even challenges, it ultimately strengthens your bond and allows you to approach your relationships with greater empathy and understanding. Remember, this chapter of life is as much about learning and growing together as it is about receiving care, and what a gift that is. As we grow older and our lives change, the dynamics within our families shift in profound ways. These 3 truths about your children: that some will rise to the occasion, some will struggle to cope, and that you'll discover who they truly are at their core, offer valuable lessons about love, patience, and connection. They remind us that our children, like ourselves, are human beings with their own strengths, weaknesses, and ways of expressing care. Understanding these truths isn't about judging your children or comparing their contributions. It's about embracing the unique relationships you have with each of them. Some will surprise you with their ability to step up, showing a depth of love and dedication that fills you with gratitude. Others may find it harder to navigate this stage, struggling with the emotional or logistical challenges of caregiving. But even in those moments, you may uncover new insights into their personalities and the ways they express love, even if it looks different from what you expected. This chapter of life is an opportunity to deepen your bonds, let go of past resentments, and foster mutual understanding. By focusing on gratitude for what each child brings, offering guidance where needed, and maintaining open communication, you can create a more harmonious and fulfilling relationship. This process isn't always easy, but it can be incredibly rewarding as you discover new layers of connection and support within your family. Remember, the love you've nurtured over the years is reflected in their actions, no matter how big or small. Celebrate these moments of care and connection, and give yourself and your children the grace to navigate this journey together. The lessons you learn now can bring you closer than ever, creating memories and bonds that will last a lifetime. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below and share your thoughts or experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support means the world to us, and we look forward to bringing you more content that inspires growth, joy, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.